So welcome everybody. My name is Nick Kremp. It is December 10th, 2024 at 6:02 p.m. now. I'm the conservation agent. I will go ahead and get a roll call of the commissioners present, starting with Bob Seacard.
Aye.
Mike Seekey.
Aye. Here.
Jim Chambers.
Here.
Seth Quinlan.
Aye.
Rich Gullick.
Here.
Chuck Raymond.
Here.
And absent is Nick Venti, but he may still be coming today, I'm not sure.
Just leave it there.
Yeah. So we have a quorum with 6 members present, and I will, well, before pass on, just remind everyone to silence any devices that you have, as I almost forgot to do. But now that we've done that, I will pass it off to my chair, Chuck Raymond.
Thank you, Nicholas. Appreciate it. We try to have open up the floor to public comments for people that aren't on the agenda. There's nobody here, so there's Nicholas. Welcome, Nick.
Hey.
Moving on down the agenda, we have no new hearings. So under continued hearings, I'll go ahead and read it into the record. Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Leominster Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on a notice of intent for the reconstruction of an office building in the riverfront area of the North Nashua River. Address 508 Main Street, map and parcel 232-9, DP file number 199-1203. Sir, introduce yourself and welcome.
All right. For the record, Chris Anderson with Hanning and Engineering. So we've been before the board or commission now a couple times, and I think the crux of the previous conversations has been classification of gravel versus impervious. So for the purposes of moving the project along, we have reevaluated the stormwater analysis to account for a more pervious state of the gravel, so it doesn't impact the stormwater management calculations for the impervious coverage. What that does is it kicks the project into full compliance with stormwater management. As such, we've incorporated various stormwater management features in order to bring that into compliance. Specifically, we've incorporated a deep sunk catch basin, which will be fitted with a HydroWorks Hydro Dome unit. It's a oil grit separator, which will provide treatment of the runoff. Once that's treated, it'll be dumped into a underground storage system for recharge capacity on the site, as well as peak rate mitigation. And then it'll ultimately discharge over onto the riprap pad that's currently there for the city's use. We did talk with DPW, they are amenable to the discharge point only, nothing else within that easement for stormwater management. So we're able to make that work without disturbing any more of the natural vegetation along the slope line, if you will.
So just showing a cross-section of that device, that underground storage. So.
That's a cross section, not a plan view, correct?
Yeah, that'd be a cross section.
Okay.
So this is the surface of the ground,
Yep.
some access here, this is the tank.
Access on both ends?
One in, one out.
One in, one out, okay.
With the outlet.
Where's that collecting water from?
It'd be primarily along the back side of the site, as well as a portion of the proposed new driveway we're constructing.
Define the back side. Is that the side between the building and the
Between
river?
the building and the office structure, so we do meet the compliance with the required catchment areas that are required under stormwater management now.
Is the invert for that at DCB1 at the near the southwestern corner of the building? Is that the invert for that?
Yep, so that what captures the runoff from the north side of the site, the proposed new driveway between the building and the edge of the cliff, if you will, captures it, directs it into the catch basin and into the underground storage system.
So it's collecting from the newly paved area?
Primarily from the newly paved areas, yeah.
Okay.
And part of the actual existing structure.
What's the volume of the structure?
You stole my question.
Jumped ahead of you too, but you guys were asking, so.
Alright, so based on the stormwater management requirements, we're required to capture or recharge 0.6 inches per square foot of new pervious area. So that requires us to capture 110. We are providing a total of 1,742 cubic feet of recharge within that structure. But when you apply the local stormwater ordinance requirements for recharge, which is 1 inch per square foot of project area, you're required to capture and treat 1,650 cubic feet. So we're very much in compliance with all those calculations.
Jim, do you have a question?
Well, along the lines of the volume as well as, I mean, what is the containment, actual containment that holds soil, rock?
So we're maintaining the existing vegetation along the slope from effectively the guardrail down to the river. So we're not disturbing that area. So all the work is effectively working in that plateau area next to the structure.
And when the water goes, the effluent goes out through the oil water separator, is that controlled, gated, valved or anything, or is it just natural flow through the system?
This structure will the DCB will be fitted with a hydro dome unit, which is a siphon filter instead. So what happens is it fills up and it slows down the water as it enters into it, but it also separates runoff so that the oils and the grits within the stormwater get captured within the structure itself and prior to discharge into the infiltration system. And then the infiltration system provides another level of treatment before it even reaches to the river itself.
Super, thank you.
What are the maintenance requirements for that unit? In terms of getting rid of the oil and the grit and everything else?
Normal catch basin, vac truck comes in. These units we prefer to use on catch basins because it effectively is a box that bolts to the side of the structure.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no special equipment or the need for an operator to get into the structure. They literally just take a normal vac truck, suck it out and call it a day.
Okay, and is that on a routine basis or just when it's needed, or how does it?
Typically, it's on a annual basis.
Annual, okay.
After the winter, depending on the sediment depth.
Okay.
But
Okay. All right. The only questions I had, anybody else? Comments, yeah.
I thought I saw 6 months on the stormwater calculations for the maintenance interval.
Yep, it's usually about every year, about 6 months.
Okay, they're recommended, okay.
I'm sorry, and 6 months is what?
Usually recommended
Okay.
on the safe side, but it's usually after the sediment producing activity, so winter.
Which is mainly winter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I got a question about, so the site is drained such that the main drainage is actually sort of corresponds to that buried culvert that catches stormwater from upslope on Route 13 there.
Yep.
So the site sort of drains, it happens to drain that way. Is the catch basin constructed to channel stormwater from that area or from the area to the south?
So, as you're correct, as the water currently flows, it effectively comes right along the north side of the structure and kind
Yeah.
of dives in near the existing structure.
Yeah. It
Now
flows between the two buildings.
It flows between the two
Yeah,
buildings,
that's
so
right.
also
Yeah.
as part of this overall redesign, in order to ensure we hit the correct capture rates,
Yeah.
we're installing a pit berm along that, so all the water's being directed towards that catch basin.
Okay, so, okay.
That-
Very good.
That's that bituminous berm you indicated there.
Correct.
Was the berm there before? Was it, that's?
No, there was no berm there originally because water was overland flowing.
No, I'm sorry, was it there in your plans before, or was that added along?
This
with
is new.
That is, okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
I
I
was-
was asking Nick that earlier, wasn't sure. Nick? go
I was
ahead.
also curious about PC1. What is that?
That's a pump chamber.
Okay, so it pumps into the catch basin then?
Nope, that is
No?
for domestic sewage. So that
Okay.
captures the runoff, or the sewage from the office structure and directs it towards one of the sewer manholes in front of the existing structure, so we can maintain one connection point within Main Street.
I see. That's also a new feature in this plan?
Nope, that's been in there since
Okay.
day one, yep.
Okay.
Leominster sewers are all separated, right?
In this area, yes.
Oh, not the whole city, just this area?
Don't hold me to it, but I think they are.
I think they are.
Okay.
So
Yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah, this guy would know. Sorry, Emma.
So this is sewer tying into this line and then going out, is that
Correct.
correct?
Okay. Thank you.
So, Mark, what was the answer to that question? Is the whole
Yeah,
city, the whole
yeah.
city separated?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, everything that we know of, I mean, obviously it could be one.
Stuff that might come out of the woodwork someplace, yeah, okay, all right. Anything else from the commission? Bob?
Yeah, how much will the vessels hold? You know, will it all flow out, it'll flow out the bottom of the vessels, or does it contain a certain amount?
So a fair amount of it does get naturally recharged back into the ground, but there is discharge from it, I think, after the 2-year storm event. So what it's doing is it's capturing the required volume and then retarding the remaining flow rates from the site so that we stay below the existing threshold.
So what is that volume that's gonna keep?
It's in one of those scenarios, right? Yeah.
I'm just getting at, in other words, like a 1/4 inch of rain, it's gonna stay in there until it either evaporates or just sits there, right? It's not gonna discharge anywhere.
Correct. In the smaller storm events, you wouldn't see it discharge, but once you get into the measurable storm events, like what we're gonna have over tonight and tomorrow, you would see it discharge.
Okay.
So, for example, the full storage volume within the structure is about 395 cubic feet, but because it's located within a permeable soil, a lot of that water gets drained off into the groundwater almost immediately as it enters into the system.
Oh, okay, so it's permanent, okay, gotcha, all right. Some of that, you got it, but I got confused. Well, can you go through that again?
So there's
What's
storage.
the total storage volume?
The
You
total
mentioned earlier 1,650 cubic feet. The cross-section
Should
should be about 10,000 gallons-ish.
So the storage volume, so the dry air storage volume within the structure itself is 395 cubic feet.
What's that for gallons, do you know? Do you have correct?
2,500 gallons.
At 20. No, 20.
But as the
2,800, it's times 7.
You get the chlorine factor,
So, but
400.
But the actual
3,000.
recharge volume takes occurring while the structure is actually filling up. So because it's in a permeable soil layer, what's happening is as you fill it in, water's going down and going down, so you're trying to overcome the rate that it's getting exfiltrated into the ground while it fills up. So the exfiltration volume is what we actually look at for the actual recharge volume.
What's the maximum discharge volume?
So based on this, it's these infiltration rates, which,
No, if all of a sudden we got water coming down,
so
like a
that's,
flood, and it just gets into it, and
that's an extreme circumstance.
Yeah.
So all these designs are predicated on using the TR55 method, so we do a gradual increase of type 3 storm as it gets into the system. So if in the event that we have a sudden 9/11 storm where all of a sudden we get 11 inches, yeah, this thing's going to be discharging
Yeah.
almost immediately.
Yeah, there's no, people have the
well, I
money.
didn't know whether it was gonna hold it back.
It'll hold it back a
Like-
fair
like
amount.
a dam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll hold it back a fair amount, but that's that's not the design method that we use,
Intent,
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
To that point, the hydraulic calculations showed no lag in discharge between the water flowing through the catchment basin and the one overland flow.
So they operate at different rates, if you will, so.
Yes, I was just curious if you could explain.
So the way we do these analysis is the water enters into the system and then it gets retarded during its process through it.
Okay.
So that water is getting captured, but the remaining water that's on the site is still going on its way as it naturally does right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that has a certain flow rate, and then this thing holds back the rates so that we stay below the existing flow rates to the river. So we're kind of offsetting the peak rates in order to make sure that they don't compound one another.
Yeah.
Like a wave. And we're also taking the edge off of the impervious area increase as it happens. So when rainfalls usually happen, you get that initial surge or runoff, and then it kind of peaks off. So what this does, it holds back that peak. So for example, if this had like a 5 CFS increase going to it, it might let off 2 CFS, per se. So
Yeah,
it's kind of slowing it down.
I saw the decrease in volume in the calculations, but it said, I was confused by, it said there was no lag between one outflow and the other in those model calculations or those model.
So there might be a
outputs.
little bit of a lag, but it's not that much, especially on a site this small.
Right, it was like, the point source was the outflow was the national river,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be very closely to it.
Chris, I got a quick question, just on seasonal change, how deep How deep is the tubes buried?
In this instance, they're about 2.5, 3 feet down.
So, what are your feelings on what's gonna happen when it freezes in the winter?
We do these systems all over the place, so they usually stay pretty decent as long as we don't have a severe winter, but we use these systems everywhere nowadays, especially with the tight constraints that we have with land use nowadays.
Well, I believe they do, but I'm looking more for an efficiency of your idea that you,
So the top of the structure is about 2.5, 3 feet down. These structures are about 2.5 feet deep with about a foot of stone beneath it. So we're well below that 4-foot frost line, if that's your concern.
yeah, it was. Yeah, just because the last few winters have been freeze, you know, with precipitation after precipitation and a lot more water. And if it's frozen, a lot more is gonna come out, so without being filtered and
Yeah.
stuff like that, so.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
Yep, so the bottom of the bed would be below the frost line.
Thank you. Good explanation.
Anybody else?
Was there a particular curve number used for that area now, or was it just determined to be permeable and it jumped you into this category? The area
So-
between the building and the river?
So what we did was we took a look at the existing addition, turned everything that was gravel into the 76 runoff coefficient. So that takes it.
76 CN?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So that drops it down and that adjusts the flow rates and stuff like that. And then we just modeled everything as we're intending to construct it.
And it changes the pre and post development for impervious surface, right? Because initially, it was a decrease, because you were considering that gravel as impervious, so like with all the alterations and everything, and considering that as impervious, there was like a 1,700 square foot like decrease, I think, initially.
Yep.
Of net decrease, and now there's like a 2,000-ish square foot increase of net increase.
And this counters for that?
And
Yeah,
exactly.
This entire design counters that.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep. Good. Well, appreciate you and your whole company's hard work, and thank Bill for coming in last week. Any questions, comments, thoughts? Throw more insults at any of us, okay? Meaning Chris. Oh, you want to throw insults?
No, I just like to say that I think the effort here has been very cooperative, and that it's taken a few weeks, but you've been very responsive. There's been a lot of technical questions and such, so.
Yep.
I'll second that.
All right, good. All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. All right, nobody here in the audience,
There is a potential audience.
No,
well, you can be asked and say no.
No, I know, but, yeah, that's true. All right. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
Close the public.
Close the public portion of the hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Bob. There a second?
Second.
Thank you, Steph.
I'll take the commission's vote by roll call. Bob Seacard.
Aye.
Mike Seiki.
Aye.
Jim Chambers.
Aye.
Steph Quinlan.
Aye.
Rich Golick.
Aye.
And Chuck Raymond.
Aye. Did you get Nick?
I want to vote for.
Oh, and Nick Venti.
Aye.
Thought I was missing one. My bad.
I think he said Nick.
All right.
All right, good. All right, so with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the project as described by Mr. Anderson.
I'm assuming that's Nick's recommendation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't care what I think?
Where am I tonight? Apparently I'm not here tonight. Nick, what are your recommendations?
Yeah, so as Jim has mentioned, it's been a long trip here through in and out of meetings, but I think we've all agreed on appropriate mitigations for stormwater with the increase in impervious runoff, with the underground storage units. So with that, I would recommend that we approve the order of conditions as presented, with the added condition that the maintenance plan for that stormwater structure be attached to the order of conditions.
And this includes our regular special conditions?
Yes, and with the regular special conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, with that then, I'll, as mentioned by the agent, I'll entertain a motion to approve the order of conditions as described by the applicant and as described by Nick with the special conditions and the revised special conditions.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Bob. Jim.
Gotcha.
Jim, Bob. Okay. So is there a second?
I'll second. Yeah, thanks, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah. All right, so, that's Jim and Mike. I will take the commission's vote by roll. Nick Venti,
Aye.
Bob Seacard,
Aye.
Mike Ziki,
Aye.
Jim Chambers.
Aye.
Seth Quinlan,
Aye.
Rich Gullick,
Aye.
and Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
All right.
Great,
Thank
very
you,
much.
Chris. Appreciate you working with us.
Thank you.
Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Have a good one. Drive safely. Might be icy out there.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, so we have no number for the next one, but I'll go ahead and open it, and there was, I'll entertain a motion to continue it. Pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Leominster Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on notice of intent for the rehabilitation of an existing dam, address 40 Barrett Parkway, map and parcel 345-1, and no DEP number yet.
Yep, so because the lack of DEP number there and lack of comment, they had requested a continuance prior to the meeting, so.
Sounds good. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to continue the hearing to what I assume will be our next one on January 14th. If it needs to be continued at that point, then we'll do that.
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Rich. Is there a second?
I can second.
Thank you, Bob. Got it right.
Okay. So that's Rich
One in a row.
and Bob.
I know, right?
And take the commission's vote by roll call. Nick Venti,
Aye.
Bob Seacard.
Aye.
Mike Ziki.
Aye.
Jim Chambers.
Aye.
Seth Quinlan,
Aye.
Rich Gullick,
Aye.
and Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
All right. Continued.
All right, super. All right, moving on then. Read the next one to the record. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Leominster Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on notice of intent for the replacement of a water main in the riverfront area, address West Street, map and parcel 367-20, new DP number 199-1205. Sir, introduce yourself,
Yeah,
please.
I'm Mark Pimarini, Assistant Director of Public Works in
All right.
Leominster here.
Good. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you. I'm here because we want to replace the water main in West Street. And one of the portions is under, we have to go around the bridge over the Mooseback Brook, over by the corner of Fairfield and West Street. I colored up just a quick sketch showing the 100-foot inner riparian zone. It's pretty much, obviously, the whole area that we're looking at here is within that zone. The pink is the new water line, and then we have, the hay bales and they'll be across the stream, and then there'll be a coffer dam system if needed. I wanted to show another one.
Say coffer dam if needed.
Yeah, because when we did this one on Lindell, if you want to take one, you can pass around. This is just September I took. We did one exactly like this on Lindell Avenue on the bridge that goes over Mooseback there. And if you look at that one, you can't even tell we ever did it. But when we did that one, it was August and there was like barely any flow at
No
all.
water.
So we didn't need that's what we'd like, hopefully when we get this one, we'll have some time. We'll hopefully get a good August where it's dry and we can get in there and just get it done. But that's what that's what we're coming before you for. Work. I think the main is from 1934. So it's due for replacement.
And I forget, are you increasing the size of it?
No.
Not just the same size, okay.
It's one of our mains. It's a 16-inch. We're not increasing that one.
Yeah, I saw that there, yeah.
The
Okay.
16 comes down West Street and the 20-inch it goes down Lindell.
Okay.
They both come from Town.
All right.
How far below the stream bed are you burying this line?
They're always a 5-foot deep.
Five foot.
Yep.
Is that the top of the?
Top of the pipe.
Top of the main will be 5 feet below.
Yep, so about 6 feet.
16, it says
16
outer
inch.
diameter, 15
Yeah.
inner?
Yes, 16-inch.
And so you put this in through some kind of directional drilling technique?
No, this
No.
is just open.
Oh, it's open channel?
Channel.
Open cut,
Yeah.
okay.
In our detail sheet, I can give you a copy of that if you want. It does show we're putting back, we always take what we pull out, put it aside, like the stream bed, everything we put in a pile, keep it moist, and then we're gonna put that back afterwards.
So so it's the coffer dam that will allow you to dig into this?
Correct. If there is flow, what you do is you direct one half of the stream to one side.
And do the other side,
Correct,
yeah.
exactly.
Sheet piling?
No, 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 we'll have our boxes that do the
Okay.
work, but.
Yes, I know exactly huge stream.
No, in the summer it does get pretty low.
Yeah, right. When are you proposing to do this work as soon as possible?
It'll be next summer if possible.
Yeah. It's gonna be next summer, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because, so you get low water in?
Correct,
Got it.
correct.
Almost like you guys have done this before.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
All right. I don't have any questions. Anybody else have any questions, comments, thoughts?
Just Lawrence, how big are the 4 trees you're gonna be removing?
They're not, I think the biggest one might have been 8
8 inches?
inch, and there was a couple 6. Yeah, they were small, they wasn't a big one.
Right around there.
Yeah.
I have a question for Nick. I assume that given the information that Mike passed out, that this will be a 5-year permit? That the 2-year extension will
yes.
automatically apply? Same with the one we just approved.
It would be prescient for me to have looked into that before this meeting, but I could not tell you honestly. So Mike had shared with us an announcement from the state about extension for permits, similar to the COVID extension that happened a few years ago. But I have to check and see how that affects our wetland permits.
It was an announcement from a legal firm,
Uh-huh.
not necessarily the state,
Okay.
that was citing the state.
Yes, okay. Excuse me.
FYI.
Yes.
So that should be confirmed.
Yes, so I will confirm that in an email follow-up.
Do we need to do that before we vote on it?
No.
No?
No, that would just affect the expiration of whatever permits.
And hopefully, yeah, we're trying to get it done within.
it'll be done before.
Yeah.
To worry about it.
And I believe, just from brief browsing that announcement, that would affect permits that have already been voted in, like that are
Correct.
current,
Any that
so.
were active in that 2-year plus 1 day period.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And just a quick question for information purposes. About how long of a job is this? Is this like a week or a?
Oh, well, to do the water main underneath that, I would say no more than 3 or 4 days to get outside the street,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's back into the road.
Back out of the
Yeah.
resource area. Okay. All right, so any other thoughts, questions, comments? No? Okay.
I do.
Oh, go ahead. Thanks, Jim.
How exactly will the existing water main be abandoned?
We just abandoned in place. Because it's the one under the bridge.
That night in it, or?
No, it's that one is underneath the footings, of it's way under.
Those are cast iron pipes?
Yeah, the old, yeah.
Are they leaded?
No, I don't believe they're lined. I don't believe it's lined from back then.
So you're cutting out and removing it, at least where it follows.
Correct,
under
yeah.
And then when it
Correct.
diverts off.
We abandoned under the bridge, obviously,
Yeah,
outside in the road, we replace.
Okay.
We just can't get to the one under that.
So once the pipe is in place, there'll just be this empty section of pipe under the
Yeah.
footings? Okay.
They will, I shouldn't say that, they have filled them in the past. I can double check that, but they have filled them with sand and water, and like sand filled with sand, put more in the end.
Yeah, I think that might be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likely filled, because
Yeah.
it's under pressurized water
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
wouldn't want to leave it
just
in.
prevent any
Yeah.
collapse or anything.
Yeah,
you
we
don't
can
know.
make sure that's done.
Yeah.
Is 1934 the date of the existing water main?
Yeah, that's the one.
So it's 90 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
About time it needs to be replaced.
We
then.
get a lot of
I
that.
know a lot of very healthy 90-year-old water.
Yeah.
I know a lot of healthy natural
At
people.
Devon's,
too.
we have wooden pipes.
Hell, that wooden pipes, yeah.
You don't object to replacing, but.
Correct.
Actually, my mother was born in 34.
All righty.
She'll appreciate you mentioning
On TV for permanent record.
your Christmas presents. Right on.
All right, but moving on. So, all right, with that then, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing portion of the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Michael. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Steph.
take the motion, the commission's vote by roll call. Nick Venti,
Aye.
Bob Seacard,
Aye.
Mike Seeki.
Aye.
Jim Chambers. Steph Quinlan,
Aye.
Rich Gullick,
Aye.
and Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, with that, Nick, what's your recommendation?
Yeah, it's a pretty basic job, definitely needs to be done, and there were some comments from DEP on this.
Yes, I saw those.
Yeah, but they relate to, how material is gonna be
Correct.
removed. They recommend, leaving it aside and then replacing it in kind, so.
Which we do.
Which, you mentioned that you're doing, so. In light of all that, I would recommend that the commission approve the order of conditions as presented, with any added conditions that they might like to add. I don't know if anyone feels super strongly about filling in the pipe or anything like that.
You put that in if you want.
But I don't really, I mean, I think that whatever job they decide.
I don't feel super strong on filling it, but I do suggest plugging it.
Yeah, okay.
Both ends.
Yeah, you can put that in.
Okay. All right, with that then, I'll entertain a motion to approve the order conditions as described by the applicant, with the one added condition to either fill or plug the old pipe that's going to remain in place.
Which is it, to fill it and plug it?
Fill it or plug it. Do you fill something one way or the other?
How would I either fill it or not have the condition? Let them do the thing work. Anybody else?
Can we have First Lawrence, the department examine it and see if there's any lead in it? If lead, I'd rather it go, if not.
Well,
no
under the
lead.
bridge, it's not coming, it's under the bridge, it's not coming out.
It's an iron pipe.
Yeah, yeah, it's
That's
just lined,
pipe.
it's not lined, but there's no lead in those pipes. The only
And-
lead you'll get is in service lines. sometimes.
Exactly.
It's probably internal, if it was lead, it'd be internal. not-
It wouldn't be, it's cast iron,
Yeah,
not
it's cast
lead.
iron.
If there was any lead, it'd be an outside
Serv-
joint
The
filling.
pigtails,
Joint
yeah, they
filling,
come
yeah,
off.
that's
there.
what I was
Where you-
thinking.
Where you get the lead is in the service lines.
Right, correct.
Pigtails from the
Or-
things right near
or
people's
housing.
houses.
It's
Not in a main.
It's in the piping, and
Okay.
the
Not
leach,
an-
it
not an
leaches
issue.
out.
So at the point they're doing this operation, they can examine if there is any lead in.
There is no lead in the pipe.
Not in the joints, you said, right?
It wouldn't be in the joints either.
I've seen them potentially in some pipes, but
Okay.
I'm not saying there is in this. And if it stays there, it doesn't matter, it's not exposing anything.
If there's any exposure from any lead, if there was any, it would be while the pipe's running,
Yeah, correct.
flowing water. With the pipe abandoned, the lead's going nowhere.
And 90 years of flowing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's
right.
tuberculated, and
Well,
I'm
it's-
sure it's not even
gone.
15 in the middle anymore, it's probably like 6 or 8.
Probably. So I don't think that's.
Did that answer your concerns, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I just was looking for the knowledge, because I've never dug up a 90-year-old pipe. I don't have the knowledge to know better, but if it was lead in there, that would be my only reason to check and remove it if it had to be, so.
There's no lead in the, we've dug up older pipes before, there's no lead in those. Like I said, nowadays with the EPA making us do that lead service line inventory,
Yeah.
there may be lead in a service, going to a house, but not in the
Going
main.
to individual houses, right?
Yeah.
Did you say previous in the meeting that you were gonna check on lead or something in it, or?
No, they're cement lined, sometimes they were cement lined way back when,
Okay.
but that one is not.
Oh, cement, okay.
All right, so, what are our thoughts on plugging or filling? Anybody have any particular, I know Rich that has been.
What are they recommending, the city?
What'd you read?
We'll fill it, let's fill it.
Okay,
Put it down.
all right. All right, then, so I'll
Yeah.
start again. Entertain a motion to approve the order conditions as described by the applicant, with the one added condition that the old pipe, the abandoned pipe under the, that's gonna remain in place under the bridge footings, be filled in place.
So made.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you, Jim.
Take the commission's vote by roll call. Nick Venti.
Aye.
Bob Seacard.
Aye.
Mike Seeki. Aye. Jim Chambers.
Aye.
Steph Quinlan.
Aye.
Rich Gulick.
Aye.
And Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you,
Take
Mark.
care, Mark.
Take a piece of cake.
Yeah, take a brownie. You might get lucky.
It's brownie roulette. All right, moving on, to the regular meeting, under enforcement, an update on the continuing saga of 1771 Lock Drive.
Yeah, so Matt Morrow had been in here, I believe, on October 29th was the last meeting that we saw him here. He provided some updates. The trucking business, truck repair business that had been at that location had been evicted, and the property owner was in the process of selling the property.
I think we all know this. Can you
Yeah,
bring this
so-
up to the current owner?
Basically, the current owner,
Current applicant.
the current tenant
Tenant, thank you.
at that location is now a landscaping company. It's Concord Landscaping. And it's basically a repeat of a lot of our kind of issues. They have some machinery and parts stored out there.
Incredible.
They have some pallets with some salt.
Some road salt being stored out there, so this was on Friday. You know, they have the concrete barriers that were out there, and the tree plantings that we had previously put in. So most of the riverfront area has remained undisturbed, but this does encroach into the edge of the riverfront area, and there's a wetland buffer in this corner, because there's some wetlands over here, so they have a lot of salt and stuff stored here. Back in the corner.
What's in the bags is salt?
Oh,
Yeah, just a lot of junk and things, fill.
Is this a code enforcement issue?
So yeah, so code enforcement, the code enforcement officer with the city is Luke Bolak. He shares an office with me, so we had both gone out there on Friday when I had taken these pictures and met with Brad Holt, who is with Concord Landscaping. They're based out of Acton, I guess, so he had to drive in from Acton, but as I understand it, they want to move all of their operations or their main operations to this location. But obviously, there were a lot of issues with planning and with us that they weren't, from our meeting, apparently were not aware of before talking to me and Luke. So I brought him up to speed with everything that we've been dealing with and kind of our expectations. We're waiting to hear back from waiting to hear back from Matt Morrow. And the engineer on that job for a new site plan to, you know, address all of our concerns, address planning's concerns, because they're in this with the planning board right now. Because again, you know, this whole area, which is kind of down between the two buildings there, this was all supposed to be grass with tree plantings and things, like none of this access was supposed to be back here, so. There's a whole long history of it. Planning is involved with this, but this landscaping company is new there. They've just been made all aware of this. So I asked them to remove all that stuff by today. They have not done that. I stopped by there this afternoon and a lot of that stuff was there, but Brad didn't get in touch with me today via text and said that he's been in communication with the site manager there, and they're getting machines in to move some of the salt and some of the other debris out there. So I followed up asking him to get that out by end of day Friday. So if he doesn't do that, I said we're gonna issue you a violation notice, and you're gonna have to definitely come in for a meeting to, you know, address what's going on and how you're gonna solve it, so.
Is any of that material between the Jersey barriers and the defined border and the river? Or is it all?
So it's all basically along the Jersey barriers.
Truck needs a wheel.
Thank goodness the Jersey
So
Barriers went in.
here's one of the blocks, and they have some like random concrete culverts and things kind of along the edge. So you can see that here, and then some debris kind of leaning against it. So they haven't moved any of that. That's all still in place, but they have some lawnmowers and things kind of like lining along the edge of that. So nothing is in the restored area where they had all the wildflower seed and the plantings. You can see the arborvitaes they planted. That's all still there, but you know, they have stuff all lined along the edge
So
of it.
has the property, I'm sorry.
Where those Jersey barrier, the concrete blocks, I should say.
Yeah.
Wasn't, according to Matt Morrow's plan, wasn't that supposed to be some kind of guardrail or permanent fixture? Versus concrete blocks that can just be moved with a backhoe?
I don't think we specified. I think we had asked for some sort of barrier there, but we left it up to them to.
Did we?
You know.
I had said I was good with Jersey barriers there, or
Yeah.
some type, or the blocks.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I think they used
Anyway.
some of the stuff that just was available from the
Alright.
truck repair.
Michael?
So there were gonna be trees too, I thought, there, that were gonna help block the way.
So that is, you can see this behind the salt here. This is one of those trees that was planted in the last 2 years as part of that.
But that's over within that 200-foot area, that's not, is that along the, no, because the concrete blocks are like right here, right?
Yeah, because they had been.
That's well inside the area.
Before some of that, before any of these concrete barriers and things were placed in the line that they're at, they were parking trucks and doing things further into that area
Right.
that is behind all this.
Right.
And then when they put the barriers in, that
Alright.
prevented any further stuff, but
All right.
this is still on the edge of that 200-foot riverfront area, and then in the back corner, from this perspective, the salt bags are off to your right. So
Yep.
this is looking into the back corner there. This is in the buffer zone. There's
So
a wet area
is the
behind all this.
medicinal weed place on the left here?
Yeah, that's off to your left, the botanist.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Michael, did you have something?
Yes.
Has Mr. Zaras passed away, has he sold this property now?
As I understand it, he's still the current owner of this
So-
property.
So there's two things. One, he knew,
He's known,
Yes.
he's known for.
but this is a landscaping company. They're within 200 feet of the Nashville River. I mean, the concrete pipe isn't gonna do much, but salt and sand, I mean, they should know that.
So based on my meeting with Brad from Concord Landscaping, had even told us that apparently they had been informed by the property owner that they would be able to use this whole site, even back in here, they could move this stuff and use that, which they said they didn't, that didn't sound right to them.
But they have to pay extra.
So they have not moved anything there, I can agree, I can attest, nothing has been done back there, but apparently they were told that they could do all that.
This is what I'm hopefully speaking for the rest of the commission, but this is what I would like to see Mr. Morrow and that landscaping company owner in here, to have a meeting of the minds, so this guy knows what he can and can't do.
Well, I think Mr. Zara should be there.
And
Yeah.
then Mrs. Zares as
Is
well.
that the property owner?
The owner, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I will
Thank you,
send
Jim.
them out
Yeah.
notice as soon as possible.
This is the most ridiculous, needless drama that's gone on for what, 3 years now?
As long as I've been on the commission.
Something like that. It's
longer.
ridiculous. And I put the blame on Mr. Zares. Honestly.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely let him know, and request their presence on January 14th.
Or, yeah.
But
Ideally,
that
it's
was
14th.
material too, that looks like a permanent, working storage area.
It does.
They're gonna
Yeah,
work out.
that salt is the biggest offense
That's, yeah, that's what
That's
I'm.
ridiculous.
in
Yeah.
my,
It's
that,
lean and the bags are gonna rip.
It just-
And there should
Absolutely.
be, at least spill container or something.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't make any sense, just even from a
All right.
business perspective, so.
When you asked them to move it out of the area, to how far?
So they have that entire warehouse area, they're renting out the back half of it.
The
front half
indoor
is-
area.
The front half is some other business that they're not involved with any of this outdoor stuff, but, the whole back half of that warehouse is up for Concord Landscaping to use, and that's all mostly empty. So, I asked that they can move at least the salt and everything possible by today, which they haven't done, so I've asked them to do that by Friday.
They
to just
only need to
every-
move it 200 feet from the river edge, correct?
Yes. So, which the most convenient place would probably be on the inside at that point. It would just be smart even to keep it on the inside, because
Oh, salt, yes. of
there's not
course.
rain and
Yeah, I mean,
snow and all that.
frozen bags of salt and sand will do them no good.
Yeah.
No, they'll end up on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're rehabbing inside.
No, anyway.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what does the blocks indicate the edge of the riverfront area?
So that's the approximate riverfront
Yeah,
area,
yeah.
but from what I can tell, just looking at the plans and everything, we'll have to get an overlay from Matt and, the engineer once they come back with whatever the final solution with this is gonna be. But just from eyeballing it, it looks like there's a few more feet on the business side of the barrier there, that's in the riverfront area.
I'd like to see some signage to notify the next person who comes
Yeah, all right.
along.
Not a bad idea.
Even something on the concrete blocks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Those,
Just something on the concrete blocks would go a long way towards negligence, you know? It's like,
No.
you can't tell me you didn't know it.
No
says-
activity beyond this border or something.
Yeah.
storing
Yeah.
anything within
Yeah.
X feet of. your-
Restoration riverfront area.
There you go.
Something.
Yep.
3
All right.
words go so far.
So
That's that.
I will let them know,
Sick
to
of
follow
talking
up
about
from
it.
this meeting.
Thank you.
Just to make sure with it, if they don't do, this cleanup by Friday, issue an enforcement order
Yeah,
against them.
yeah,
to,
and we, Friday, whether that's done by Friday night, I would like to have them in here at the next meeting.
Yeah,
All right,
Gotcha.
all three of them, or their duly designated representative.
all right.
Cool. All right. Oh, moving on, meeting minutes, that should say October 29th, by the way, not.
No, I believe
So
it should
that's,
say November 26th.
Yes,
Oh,
it
is that
should
what
be
it- oh,
November
oh,
26th,
thank you.
that is a mistype, because it was,
All right, thank you.
I think it was from October 29th, and I never changed the
Oh, no,
The second letter there.
All right.
second number.
I thought I reviewed that, but I didn't, in looking at Nick's computer, I didn't see any of my comments or edits, but I saw a bunch of Rich's.
I think you were the only one that made edits, but.
Mostly typing. I did add some to the section on 508 Main Street, and I'd like Mr. Venti to review that, because it mentions his stance on it.
Okay, all right, so you don't, so
if
you don't want to.
pass that down.
Do you want to try to vote on it tonight then?
When did you post this, Nick, these minutes?
These I posted on Sunday, and then I think Rich commented on them today. Was it
Yeah,
today
well,
or
I
yesterday?
added something to that section to say some more to,
Yeah.
as to why we pushed away on that curve number
So,
96.
Do you want to give Nick a few minutes, just take a minute to
Yeah, I
read that?
didn't get a chance to review these. I think I looked at the other documents or
There's
something.
nothing controversial
You
in
can take
the
a
other
minute.
sections.
Yeah. So anyway, anybody have any brownies yet?
No?
I'm gonna
I will
snag them
definitely
before I
take-
leave.
Yeah, definitely.
That way if the drugs kick in when I get home.
So Nick, while he's.
So, yeah, I guess, while we're waiting here, I guess I'll just officially announce, I sent everyone an email, but this will be my last meeting as your, current agent. Yeah, so I did accept the job in Pike County, Pennsylvania, where where my wife and I are originally from, so going back out there and, yeah,
Well, that's fantastic, good luck.
thank you.
Yeah,
Sounds
excited.
like a great fit for you too.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically gonna be doing kind of exactly what I do here, more or less, so. Explaining environmental regulations to people, different construction companies and things, reviewing site plans, making sure everyone's following. the
According to what
rules.
regulations, those are county regulations or it's state? or-
So it's state, and then federal, it'd be more like EPA regulations and things like
So
that.
they don't have a wetland protection act or anything like that then?
No, no. Massachusetts is very.
What city
strict.
will you be working at?
Yes.
In case we have to find it.
So I'll be in Pike County,
People.
Pennsylvania. I'll be in the bustling town of Blooming Grove, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Is where I'll be based out of.
Blooming Grove, sounds great.
Yeah.
So what part of Pennsylvania is
It's the northeastern tip of PA. It's where Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York all come together. That's where Pike County is.
Delaware water
Sounds
gets
expensive.
lovely in there.
Huh?
Yeah.
Said sounds expensive.
Yeah, it's technically in the New York City metro area.
Oh, is it really still?
Definitely, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Which will drive property
fairly
values.
rural, that stretch of.
Very rural.
Yeah, it is.
I-84 has nothing,
No.
absolutely nothing on that
Yeah.
stretch.
I think that, well,
No
I-80.
hotels.
Some rest areas here and there.
Yeah.
there's
I
really-
tried to eat and sleep in that stretch.
it's tough.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot, but.
Yeah.
Not once you get past Matamoros or so.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. That's in Pike County. I'll be stopping around Matamoros.
So Nick, the minutes from tonight's meeting would be tremendous to have completed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Before you're gone, maybe by the end of this week or something, so that we can get back to you on anything.
Yes.
If that's possible.
Yeah. We don't have to hash this out in the meeting necessarily, but I would be happy to continue doing the minutes.
that? When is your last day here?
So I need to work that out, but it will be sometime around Christmas time. So I definitely won't be here for the next meeting, but, still hammering out the final exact day. But between Christmas and New Year's.
And someone with the city will let Chuck know if there's a new agent or.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether
Yes.
there's a temporary agent from DPW again or something.
Yes, so Mark will.
That worked pretty well last time. You did all right.
Mark will likely be the agent, acting agent for the 14th, and then we'll see how long the hiring process takes and
Yeah.
how quickly they're able to get candidates on and stuff, so.
You all set with that, Nick?
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
No, I think
Look
my,
all right?
my position was well represented.
Okay,
by-
super.
Thank you, sir.
With that then, thank you, Rich. With that then, I'll make a motion I'll entertain a motion, to approve the meeting minutes for the meeting from November 26th, 2024.
As edited.
As reviewed and edited by the various commission members.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Rich. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Bob.
I'll take the commission's vote by roll. Nick Venti,
Aye.
Bob Seacard,
Aye.
Mike Seiki,
Aye.
Jim Chambers,
Abstain.
Steph Quinlan,
Aye.
Rich Gullick,
Aye.
and Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
All right, so 6-0, 1 abstention, and minutes are approved.
All right, super.
Excellent, thank you for being all caught up.
Any other commissioner comments while we're here?
Yes.
Thoughts?
Yes. One is we should discuss what Commissioner Siki passed around, and this third permit
I
extension.
didn't get a chance to read that, I should have, I apologize.
In short order, any order of ours, not enforcement orders, right?
Right.
But notice of intent type orders, anything that was active between January 1st of '23 and January 1st of '25, inclusive, so 2 years and a day, gets an automatic 2-year extension with no action needed by anybody, by any party. Which leads me to one of my requests from Nick before he goes, is I'd love to see a listing, spreadsheet preferably, hopefully you have one
Would be
already,
helpful.
of every project that is still active. I mean, if they're done and closed, then I'm gonna look back.
Right.
But if they're still active, we should know that, just for what do we need to follow up on?
Well, at least the ones that got
That's
their
the
order
next.
conditions between January 1st, in that time period, right?
Or anyone that's currently active that we're gonna need to close at some point, is what
Yeah.
I'm looking for.
Okay, all
If
right.
they got their order during that period and they're already closed, I wouldn't care.
Right.
That's true.
They don't need an extension. If it's closed, they would need a new permit and so on.
Well, what about if it's, their period, their order of conditions expired, and they didn't finish it, and now it's 2 months later?
They have
You
2
still
more
give them
years.
2 more years?
yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
it was open between that period of time.
Even
Yeah,
if it was
figure-
open for one day.
Right.
If it was open January 1st, 2023, and then ended the next day, they have another 2 years. Which, of course, just goes till, January 2nd, coming up.
Right, right.
It's not 2 years from the end of that period, it's just 2 years from the end of their period.
I read it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, that'd be helpful to know which ones that got their order, that are covered by, as Rich said, the ones that have gotten their certificate of completion in the meantime.
Absolutely.
And we could go back through the minutes, it would be much better to have your active list.
Yeah.
of
Yes.
What are the ones that we've already approved, what's coming up, if anything on that list, that would be great.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I guess Chuck is chair responsible for
Right.
making sure
Right.
that we have that.
Correct.
As I pass
So,
that along.
So, would you see that being just like a simple Excel spreadsheet, or what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I'll get a spreadsheet together.
make a note for myself.
Is that hard to do, Nick? No. Probably most of them, is it, can AI do it for you? It's just-
I'll get it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably got a lot to do.
Yeah, it's all good. I'll make sure everything's wrapped up nicely, and for what it's worth, I'll be available for any new agent coming in, or for Chuck or whoever. I think I shared my cell phone in the email, but if anyone doesn't have my personal.
Put you on a tracker.
Yeah. So.
I've
if
asked for
any-
this
yeah.
documentation previously, but this is not a new request.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
anyone that needs to get in touch with me, I'll be available, so I'll be able to answer any questions or anything going forward.
Wish you the best, and I'm sure the
Yeah.
community will miss the monthly walks.
Correct, oh, big time.
Yes.
The,
Can we
quick
just-
question, so the new special conditions that we came up with,
Yes.
where are those in case, for when we need to make sure Mark has it and/or the new agent?
Yep, they're in my documents, so I'm gonna be backing everything up on a flash drive, and then also on there's a drive that is available for city employees, so
Okay.
that'll be available for
All right.
whoever the new agent will be.
If you could fill Mark in on that?
Yep.
That's, again, assuming he'll be here for January 14th, so then he can pass it on to the,
Absolutely. I'll have a
New
folder
version.
ready, I'll have a
Alright.
folder ready for him. and-
beautiful.
Well,
Sir, yes, Jim?
Yeah.
geez, I'm just, maybe something, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Join the club.
Yeah.
Um,
What is the
I'm
process?
sorry, no, so your time's.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. What is is the commission involved in the process of selecting the new agent, or is it just through the personnel office and the mayor?
I believe it's through the personnel office and the mayor.
We had nothing to do with Nick coming on.
No one's gonna ask us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Our
It's-
chair-
They're gonna tell us.
Our chair could offer his input, but we were not asked.
Yeah.
Some stuff is-
Yeah. Yeah, because if I'd known he was coming on board, I'd have said no. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you know
From the
that.
2 years that I've
Real
been here,
feelings
I've
come out.
you've done quite a bit, so.
Nick, you were going to, as I recall, that was mentioned in the minutes, pass to the planning department and DPW the new special conditions,
Mhm.
so they can let any department, was it planning and somebody?
Contracting.
No,
Purchasing.
building.
Building.
Building,
right,
that's
building.
yeah.
As well as the basic conditions for the regular orders. They should have both documents.
Mhm. So I've sent them along, I haven't talked to anyone about it, but I've sent them, I've shared them with them, so they have them.
You
but-
shared both documents?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
You're talking about like the general conditions
The
that are on
general
the order?
conditions that are on all the
Yes.
orders and the special conditions we approved last week?
Right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, dynamite.
Good stuff, thank you.
Sweet. You all set?
Yes, sir.
Okay. With that then, our next meeting will be January, this is the last meeting for this year. The next meeting, according to the calendar, would have been Christmas Eve. And we're not gonna do that to people, including ourselves. So the next meeting will be January 14th, 2025. The filing deadline will be December 27th, 2024 at noon. And the meeting after that will be January 28th of 2025. And the filing deadline will be January 10th, 2025 at noon. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Michael. Is there a second?
Real quickly, I can second that.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay. All right, Mike and Bob. Take the commission's vote by roll call. Nick Venti,
Aye.
Bob Seacard.
Aye.
Mike Seeke.
Aye.
Jim Chambers.
Aye.
Steph Quinlan.
Aye.
Rich Gullick.
All right.
And Chuck Raymond.
Aye.